Hey guys, and welcome back to the Four Train podcast. Today, as always, we have the infamous Israel Navarro here. And obviously, I'm Anzo. And we're going to be talking about an interesting topic tonight. And hopefully, you're joining us live. If not, thank you for watching the replay. But we're going to get right into it. We're going to be talking about Anthony Rizzo or Freddie Freeman. Who do you want? Let's talk about it. Israel, start us off.
All right, we're going to dive right into this topic, and I am 100% for sure we're coming out of this MLB lockout with all the new rules and all the new things that are going to be allowed for owners and team to do. I want to go after Freddie Freeman. Why? Nothing against Anthony Rizzo. I'm very grateful for the outstanding season we had with him this past season, but I just feel like we need somebody to have in that solid first base. You know, it is time for the Yankees to move away from Luke Voit. He's too injury prone. We can use him in a trade deal to get another solid player, but we should move away from him. We should add another left-handed batter to our lineup. We only have Joey Gallo, so that would break it up. And furthermore, it's not a bad thing getting a 6-year deal, $180 million for someone that just came off of a hot World Series win. I don't know about you, Anzo. How do you feel about this?
Great take, Israel. Yes, you know, I was calculating the numbers, and yeah, it would be great. In an ideal world, I agree with you, Israel. Let's get Freddie Freeman. He just came out of the World Series. He's hot right now. And he has the picture perfect family. And that's what you think of with the Yankees, right? You think of the guy, clean cut, and a perfect family and everything like that. Anthony Rizzo is kind of the same thing too. And so I'm kind of torn in between. I'm sure like many Yankee fans, you want Anthony Rizzo. But if I were to choose and if money wasn't a problem, like it should be for the Yankees, then I would go with Freddie Freeman. But again, we're going to have to compete with the Dodgers and other teams. And like you said, $180 million, that's $30 million a year for a 30-something-year-old. I don't know if I want to pay that. Anthony Rizzo is going to be asking for how much? $70 million for 5-6 years. I mean, he's going to probably ask for around $14 million. I mean, that might be a little bit more reasonable, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd rather have Olsen, but if these are the guys that we have, yeah, I might lean towards actually having Rizzo if we're going to be the budget Yankees. You know, if 14 million, $12 million we can get him for compared to a $30 million guy, I'd rather use that money for Carlos Correa. But I don't know, Israel, what else do you think about this topic?
Well, here's the thing, and this is the situation we're facing with. If the Yankees aren't going to go after Matt Olson, which Luke Voit should be a part of that trade deal for the Oakland A's, obviously we're going to have to give up another player. So that's where Gio, Torres, someone else, or even Hicks might get into that picture of the trade deal, so we can secure Olson from the A's. But if we're going to go in this situation, if it is Carlos Correa, I'm going to say, obviously, we need to put Anthony Rizzo right back. He's going to be, obviously, he's a phenomenal player. He played well for us. But if that's the case, we're going after Carlos Correa, then yeah, Anthony Rizzo's in that position. If we do the trade for Matt Olson, okay. But if we're not going to go after Carlos Correa, we're not going to do a trade for Matt Olson, we're going to have to do a Freddie Freeman. And we're going to have to put another left-handed batter for us. Yeah, we have Hicks. He's another switch hitter, but coming off of what his injury was, considering he's only playing good in the Dominican League, we don't, and as I said before, even Gary Sanchez played good in the Dominican League, and then last season, he really wasn't that of a phenomenal catcher. So that's the thing we got to take into consideration. Yeah, he's 32 years old. Yeah, 6 years, that means by the time he's 38, he can retire and ride off into the sunset if he chooses. But you know, we have to play this what-if card because right now the Yankees done nothing in the first part of the offseason, and especially once we're coming off of the lockout, whenever that is, the Yankees have to be hungry to go after pursuit. Now, this is the other thing, and this was a very good point. I can't remember if I was listening it to on the Yes Network or our Michael K show, but one of the key thing about signing Freddie Freeman away, Dodgers and the Braves are two of our competitors. Yes, that means most likely we'll see them in a World Series. But if you look at it at this aspect, you're taking him away from your competitors. That means you're locking him up. You're making sure your competition cannot compete with you having a player of his caliber. So that's the other thing. Sometimes we got to look into the situation. Do we want to put, it's the same thing when we sign, I'm already saying we're going to sign him, but if we sign Carlos Correa, we have to look at it that way. We're taking him away from the Astros. We're taking him away from any other club that might want him and putting ourselves in a position not only to be a playoff team, but to become a World Series team. And that is what the Yankees need to start thinking. Stop having a winning season. Stop being just a good playoff team. Be a World Series caliber team.
I agree, Israel. Yep. I mean, I think at the end of the day, if we don't do anything, well, let's do exactly what you said. But let's say if we do end up getting Carlos Correa, that's going to be something a whole lot better. Like, I feel like that would actually steal it away from the Dodgers or from the Red Sox or from these other teams or even just the Astros. Even if the Astros go back and just give them a better offer, then, I mean, we're taking them away from those teams. And I think that would be even better because, I mean, these guys in, let's say, I don't know, 3 years, they're not going to be as good. You know, they are already deteriorating in their stats, you know? I mean, 30 something isn't old, but for baseball, it's starting to get up there. And if you look at their defensive stats for both of them, Freeman is a little bit better and Rizzo is starting to decline. He had a -5 defensive run saved just last season. And this is the guy that's supposed to be a really solid fielder for us. But last season, he wasn't as great. And if you look at Freeman, I mean, he had some positive defensive runs saved, but it's very little. And if you compare it to a Carlos Correa or someone else in their position that's really good defensively, Carlos Correa had 21 defensive runs saved. And we're talking about two guys that one had -5 in Rizzo and the other had about like 2 defensive runs saved in Freeman. So, I mean, and you're going to add Father Time to it. I don't think they're going to get any better at fielding. I think they're past their prime. And I feel like if we're going to go with someone, then let's just go with the cheaper option because I'd rather have that extra money for someone else. But I don't know, Israel. What do you think about what I just said?
Well, passing prime, I just think that with today's world of science and medicine, I think we have perfect example of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, even though it's two different sports, but these are guys well into in their would technically 20 years ago be officially retired from professional sports, and now they're still playing. So, we could take into that consideration. Look at Freddie Freeman. He's a lot healthier than Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo had cancer. And don't take me wrong, that's not knocking, but considering the situation we're in with the COVID-19, he got COVID-19. He's someone that's more likely to get sick because of this whole pandemic stuff. So we also got to take that into consideration. Do you want, I'm not saying he's a liability, and people who are watching this before, they're like, oh, he's bashing people who gets COVID or cancer. I'm not bashing that. But on a professional league and even if Anthony Rizzo, he may have to take consideration his family health. I understand wearing the pinstripe is a glorious thing, but we also have to take care of that. Do we want this guy to stay healthy, considering in New York has been considered one of the hot spots for COVID? So that's another key factor there. Now, for Eddie Freeman, he is 32 years old. We still don't know what's going to happen. Now, look, I know there's still the speculation the Braves are still going to sign him. He's not going to leave away. But again, he is open at options, and why not come to New York? Make a name for yourself. The New York Yankees are looking healthy. I remember this when we had a couple of years when we brought back Tito. Tito was older. He was supposed to be backup for Giambi, and look, he ended up playing because Giambi, who was the younger player, wasn't healthy that season. He ended up. So all these key things are very factor of what comes on to what happens during the season.
Great points, Israel. Great points. And I think of like LeBron James when it comes to that, right? Or even if we're going to keep it in our sport, I mean, you think of Verlander, you think of Scherzer. I mean, these guys are already actually in their 40s and they're killing it. They got massive contracts. And so, you do bring up a good point. But I mean, you look at Rizzo, and I think one of the things I think of is his batting average and his numbers. His numbers have also been going down. I mean, Freeman has been pretty consistent at 300 and he has some pop. And so, I mean, I would lean towards Freeman at the end of the day. But if we're talking about the budget Yankees, then I think they'll probably end up going with Rizzo, right? And I did hear on my channel, Anzo, a person commented and said, hey, on December something, so and so, they already came with an agreement before the lockout or something like that, and it was finalizing. So, I mean, if you believe that source, then I mean, Rizzo's actually coming back to the Yankees and it's done. But there's also people saying that the Yankees were just one of the few teams that actually talked to Freeman and went out there and reached out. So we're just gonna have to really wait, Israel. I guess we're gonna have to wait until the end of the lockout, obviously, and just see what exactly is gonna end up happening. But it's gonna be interesting to see overall. And so I'm gonna bring us back up to the two-face screen right here. And yeah, I don't know, Israel. What are your final thoughts on Rizzo, Freeman, for people watching and hoping that we get Rizzo back? I know that's the majority of the Yankees fan base, I feel like.
Well, it is known that before the lockout happened, Cashman was in talk with Rizzo's energy, I was going to say, agent, but there was nothing solid. There was no solid deal signed there. So if he is coming back, you know what? I prefer him over, and that means Luke Voigt's days in the pinstripes are over, and I'm fine with that. Nothing against Luke Voigt. I just think he's be better off not wearing the pinstripes anymore. And Anthony Rizzo's, if he is going to be the budget Yankees in this situation, good. But if the lockout makes the luxury tax up, that means the Yankees can spend. Let's go for it, because we already know that the Yankees still have the ability to sign Carlos Correa. That's been discussed. They still have the options to sign Anthony Rizzo, and next season they can even give the offer to Aaron Judge. So there's not a problem with the Yankees, especially on a budget standpoint there. But we all have to see what comes out of the lockout, and I'm excited to see what's happening, because I predict the first major move that's going to happen is the Yankees signing Carlos Correa.
That would be epic. Now, if the Yankees get Carlos Correa, that'd be great. And yeah, you also bring up a good point with Voit, right? He's probably going to be gone unless the Yankees are just going to be like, hey, forget about last year and hey, come back in first base. But that's a whole nother conversation where how Voit was treated and everything like that. But yeah, I totally agree, Israel. I'm kind of divided between the two because I really actually don't want either one of them if they're going to be that expensive. If I have to go with the least one, then yeah, let's just get Rizzo and, figure it out from there. But Olsen is the priority. I feel like at least give us 2 solid years and then figure out if we trade him or keep him or whatever the case is.
Well, the key thing too with Olsen is that he is coming up for free agency. So I think, if not mistaken, he's going to be 27 at the time he's free agent. So the Yankees can still pursue him. That means sign Carrera this year, give Judge the following, and then after that we get Matt Olson, still young. We can't stop that, guys.
Yeah. I forget if he's like 27 right now or 28 or I'm not sure, but yeah, he's still going to be young compared to a Rizzo or Freeman. He's definitely not going to be as old in baseball terms, But yeah, Israel, I mean, I think we had a great talk over this. And definitely, when are we going to be doing these streams? Just so we clarify it for the audience.
We're going to do this on a weekly basis. Every now and then, if there's a really hot topic, you're going to see Anthony and I hop on real quick to discuss about it. But guarantee you guys, around this time, every Monday, you're going to see us weekly coming to you guys with specific topics. And I encourage you guys to feel free in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys think, as well as, hey, can you guys discuss any on such topic? We'll gladly do it for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to reach out to each and every single one of those comments down below. So make sure to comment down below what you guys think. Do you want Rizzo or Freeman? Let us know. Israel or Anzo, me will answer you guys down below. And Israel, where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me as my Twitter, Israel NVRRO. I'm there always commenting on stuff, so you guys can always reach out to me there, as well as right here on the comment section below.
Awesome. Yeah, and for me, guys, I actually have an Instagram now. It's at Anzo Media on Instagram and Twitter. So make sure to follow me on there. Also, make sure to follow my other YouTube channel. We just hit 800 subscribers on there, and I'm so excited to keep pumping out daily content. And not only that, but here we hit, I think it was 14, 15 subscribers. So that's really awesome for this channel, Israel. Congratulations to us. And yeah, we're going to be shooting for that 100 subscriber mark on this channel. So guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Show us that you love this video. Smash that like button. And let's get this party rolling out here. And let's create another great Yankee community here on the 4 Train podcast. And what's the last thing? Oh, and if you guys want $20 off on SeatGeek, make sure to use my code ANZO, that's ANZO, to get $20 off your first purchase so that you can get some awesome Yankee tickets. I know Israel and we're definitely going to be going to some baseball games. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned, and we're going to be using SeatGeek to get those tickets. So guys, that'll wrap it up. Thank you for watching. My name is Anzo, and this is
the 4 Train podcast.
And that's Israel, and we're the 4 Train podcast, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Bye.